out there, Crohn's warriors and chronic illness fighters? I am glad to have you here. This is another addition to the vlogs on my Let's Talk About Butt Stuff playlist series. Don't get it sick and twisted. I am talking about chronic illness, specifically my journey with Crohn's disease. I am so excited for the content today because I'm bringing you good news, people. And good news is not something that people with chronic illness are used to. In fact, we are used to just the opposite. We're used to taking those lemons and making some delicious lemonade. But I have some amazing news. In May, actually the last week of May, I got, after 8 to 9 months of fighting with my insurance company, I got the final approval that my infliximab injections, Remicade infusions that happen every 6 weeks, could now happen every month. That was deemed medically necessary. It was always medically necessary, but I digress. I need to start by saying, for all of these videos, I recognize my privilege and how grateful I am to have access to healthcare. And I am grateful that I have the ability to keep up with the cost to have ongoing, very expensive care. So I recognize that and I am grateful. I still have some salty feels, and I'm gonna talk through it because that's what a vlog is about, people. So sit back and relax and get ready to hear my salty feels. I'm a little bit salty because when you get a letter like this, there are 2 words that people with chronic illness hate more than any other in the entire vernacular, and that is medically necessary. Because if it wasn't medically necessary, my doctor wouldn't have told my insurance company to cover it, and we wouldn't have done 8 months of research, work, filling out forms, talking to people on recorded lines, arguing the merits of what I need it for and why I need it, and on and on. All of it is a part of the process of convincing the healthcare company that we pay that I am worthy of the treatment that my doctor has already told them 8 months ago that I needed. So that's real frustrating. Gets me salty. Like when I have an emotional day or when I break down and like just cry over things and I can't figure out why, it's because the pain is horrific or something's going on and I don't feel good. And I'm thinking to myself, why is it that I feel like trash today? And then I'm like, oh, that's right. Because I'm not getting the care that I need. Because I can't. Because my insurance company hasn't deemed it medically necessary. Hop down in those comments below and let me know if your insurance company has tried to pull some medically necessary nonsense with y'all. Okay? And go ahead and click that like button if you are finding value in me exposing the salty with you. Moving right along. While I am salty about that, and I am not happy to think back on the amount of time I might have spent in pain, one thing that really gets my goat, not even a week or so after my June infusion, my doctor's office called me to set up my MRI, and they were ready to set up that MRI for October, possibly November. Do you know what that means? That means they assume that in that small amount of time, June, July, August, September, October, November, 6 months, 6 treatments, I could be in a position where he could be telling me that I'm in remission and starting to spread out my treatments and weaning down the dosage of the chemo pill that has made me so sick for the last 3 months. I can't eat some days at all. Horrible side effects from that medicine. Horrible side effects from lots of these medicines, by the way. But you do what you got to do, right? So when I think about that and I think, wait a minute, in 6 months, I could be well again. So the last 8 months that I have literally walked through hell barefoot, that was just because some executive sitting somewhere looking at my file didn't want to pay and deemed it not medically necessary. Like that's the part that makes you want to like snap and go just bananas on somebody and be like, medically necessary? You should have to come live with me and deal with what this is like for the 8 months that I battled you. For those of you out there that are new to the channel, I have done a video on how to appeal a denial from an insurance company. Be sure and check that out if you have been denied some sort of care that your doctor deemed medically necessary. If they didn't deem it medically necessary, they wouldn't have asked the insurance company to pay for it. If they deny you that is not the end of the road. You have options. So watch that video and check out what you can do. However, it is sad that you have to convince your insurance company that the care that your doctor says that you need is in fact medically necessary. So do your best to try to get past that anger. I'm warning you now, there will be good days and bad days with that. Dig deep, because getting the care you need is up to you and your doctor, and working together you can overcome. This approval from Anthem is proof of that. I think that for anyone out there who is in a similar position to mine, the thing that really shifted for my doctor and I in our push with Anthem was we had to document multiple series of infusions, so every 6 weeks, which took time, months. We had to document that the last 2 weeks going into the next Remicade infusion, that there was some problems health-wise that a closer infusion would solve. So for example, some of the things that were happening to me the 2 weeks leading up to the infusion, I would have more urgency with my bowel movements. That, oh gosh, I gotta go, can't wait 1 second, gone already, need a diaper situation. I mean, not really, you always make it to the bathroom, but like in your head, that's what you're thinking. And it's a lot of fun. Then there is also the exhaustion. And the exhaustion is just something I want to know more about someday. Like, what is the connection with the inflammation and the, I mean, bone tired as if you've run a marathon level of exhaustion that can hit? Sleeping 12, 16, 18-hour days like you're a cat kind of exhaustion, and still not feeling rested. Like, so that's something I think people have a misconception about as well. Is like, oh, well, you're sleeping all those hours. That's amazing. You must just be rested and ready to go. No, I wake up just as tired as I was when I started. I just think like, well, what day is it? What time is it? Should I bother? We had to document those things. We had to document the exhaustion. We had to document the urgency in the bathroom. There was some pain with digestion that would come those last 2 weeks. I would have more bouts of problems, pain, digestion pain. Essentially, when I would eat something, if I didn't throw it up, thank you, chemo pill, I would then have the awful, like, feeling the digestion process, which I always described as sort of like digesting gravel, like imagining gravel going down your intestines, like you're like a human concrete truck. I don't know. That's how I describe it. So it's kind of like that. I had to document those things and talk about how that was getting worse and worse in the 2 weeks leading up to the infusion, which is essentially what pushed the insurance company over the edge to be like, well, okay, if he's not getting better from the Remicade already, and the FDA has said that Remicade is the only treatment to solve the kind of Crohn's that you've diagnosed him with, I guess we'll give it to him at the amount you want to give it to him when you want to give it to him. Okay. All right, I guess. So that's real annoying. But my advice to you from learning from my experience is document from the first time you get your infusion and track your symptoms, your sleep, your bowel movements, your anything and everything that can be seen as a side effect of your disease. Document it daily in a diary. Here on this channel, we talk about two things, books and butt stuff. The books is all about writing books, promoting books, building an author platform, building marketing plans to promote and sell books, and grow author brand. The butt stuff is my experience with chronic illness, specifically Crohn's disease, content that's geared towards that journey. If any of that sounds of interest to you, please click that subscribe button and ding the bell. The bell gives you notifications every time I upload new content to the channel, which is 2 times like clockwork every single week. Also, if you haven't already, head over to the socials. You're going to find me at Barrett_Laurie at Twitter and Instagram. Go ahead and give me a follow. I look forward to engaging with you on the social platforms. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you are out there staying healthy and well. Please hop down in those comments and let me know what your insurance company has deemed not medically necessary. That has been real annoying. And I will be happy to lament that with you. And remember, love always wins.